AMC might just squeeze in the month of November. Now, I am not here to clickbait you guys. We are providing the facts that lead me to believe this. Anybody can say they think AMC is going to squeeze any month. I could say AMC is going to squeeze tomorrow. Does that make it true? If the data suggested this, maybe you could entertain that idea. But I think the data does suggest a November squeeze is very likely. And that's what I want to go over in this video. If you guys don't agree with me, let me know in the comment section. I have seen a lot of videos talking about a November squeeze, but not really pointing out the things that I am seeing. So let's get into this video, guys. Hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel if you agree with this or you like to entertain the thought. If it makes sense to you, consider sharing this with your buddies, with fellow apes. So let's get straight into this. AMC is pretty much flat on the day, so it's nothing about the daily move that is saying this to me. It comes down to multiple different things, and if you've been following this channel for a while, some of this may not be new information, just to give you guys a heads up. And regardless of what rule changes happen, the delimit order, none of that is going to cause the MOAS. What is going to cause the MOAS is, simply put, the smaller shorts that can't afford to stay in their short positions will be the first ones to cover. That will ultimately force the bigger guys to cover. But what is going to actually do that? What will actually do that is when AMC proves as a business it is not going to go back down in value. When there are so many good things going for the business, there is no short thesis left whatsoever. Now, at the current moment, at $40 per share, AMC could be seen as a little bit overvalued, but I think we're nearly there where the fundamental valuation makes a lot of sense. Let me tell you guys why. Obviously, we have earnings coming on November 1st, but this has not gotten any media attention, so I'm sure most of you guys don't even know this unless you're subscribed to the channel. I haven't even seen any other videos about this due to the lack of media coverage. AMC Entertainment is just weeks away from announcing entirely different business lines, CEO says. Some people are estimating that they will start their own crypto, or, some kind of crypto exchange, which does make a lot of sense due to the comments that they said that they want to expand on their crypto business and focus on that a lot more. That's not really where I'm leaning to, but even if that is the case, you could get a higher multiple for the company. And just like somebody pointed out in the comment section of one of the videos where I went over this, is saying, look at Nintendo that started as a toy company, now look at where they are. So AMC could essentially pivot from being a movie theater business into something totally different and change the whole entire valuation. If AMC was going into gambling, if they were going to be the new DraftKings, or just that for an example, you would get a higher valuation. And at that point, if you're a short seller in AMC and there is no chance of the stock going back down, it's totally off the table, you would cover on your positions, and you would do it very, very fast. As well as that, I think this is really one of the main tippers per se that will start the MOAS. But regardless of that, we are seeing the same low volume days that we were seeing back here on this earnings call of May 6th. 1 month later, we ran up 1,000%. Take a look at this. The volume we were seeing before this, back here on April 29th. This was obviously before this major rally. We're looking at, where's the volume? 31 million for volume, 35 million, 15 million, 38 million, 38 million, 49 million. That looks a lot like what we're seeing, over the past couple of weeks. 33 million, 67 million, 46 million, and even before that, 37, 35, 37, 39 million. You guys get the idea. The low volume is here, but we are holding up at these higher prices. Once you start to get hundreds of millions volume coming back into the stock on any given day, that's where you see the explosive price action moves to the upside. That's where you will get the smaller shorts being forced to cover, and then the bigger shorts that will ultimately be forced to cover after that. So maybe you guys have known this, maybe you guys don't know this, but it comes down to the smaller shorts of AMC. The big guys, forget Citadel, forget the big guys. Comes down to the smaller guys. Once they are forced to cover, that's when the big guys will be forced to cover. So forget any, rules or regulations of the SEC or anything like that. That doesn't matter to me. Now, why I say specifically in November, because that's pretty specific, right? 30, 31 days in the month of October. It's simply due to the fact we have earnings on November 1st, or that is the estimated day. Adam Aron said he is weeks away from announcing this, so I would imagine this would come out on earnings. And what has happened on earnings throughout the whole year of 2021? It does not take a genius to point this out, so it's kind of questionable why nobody else has pointed this out. But March 10th, 2021, we went up 60% after earnings, about 2 weeks after earnings. 1 month later, we got earnings on May 6th, almost literally 1 month to the day, we went up 1,000%. Last earnings on August 9th, 2021, we went up about 100%. Now we are at higher lows. So meaning back here on earnings in August, we were at about $30 per share. This was really our low. We ran up to 53, came back down, but only to about $53 to $55. So we're still hitting higher lows. Now we are back on this bullish trajectory. We are heading into earnings, and even on the option chain, this does suggest we could see quite the gamma squeeze coming on November 19th. This is the monthly options expiration date, and if we do go to obviously the November 19th expiration as well, it only goes up to the $95 strike. So if we did what we did last time around in June, if you guys remember, I believe we only went up to about the $30 strike, the $35 strike. AMC went crazy, so they had to rush to add more strikes. You were getting a lot of concentration on the option chain during that period, right? In June, so they had to add those options. That's where you really got the gamma squeeze effect, because if you guys, maybe you guys don't know this, maybe you know this, but back on the exchange reported short interest data, May 28th, we were at 20% short interest. At the lowest point, June 30th, after this whole rally, we only went to 14.76% short interest. Only about 27 million shares were actually covered. We are now at 16.65% estimated short interest. Take this with a big grain of salt, and about 85 million shares that will need to be covered. Roughly speaking, about where we were at back here during this June rally. But the situation is a little bit different this time around. There's obviously still a lot of naked shorting, synthetic short positions, so the short interest is likely much higher, as well as they are using a lot of the option chain now, because we did get those strikes that are super far out the money. The $145 strikes, that is still what the January 21st, 2022 option chain goes to, the 145 strike, and you're seeing 103,000, almost 104,000 for open interest. So shorts are obviously using the option chain to make it look like they have covered on their short positions, but that is not the case. And when we actually do start to rally and get this monstrous move to the upside, just because you reported to the SEC that you covered your short positions, that doesn't mean they were actually covered, unless you did, but obviously that's not reflected in the price action. So once you see that big rally, there's still shares that have to be returned. That's where you really see the lack of shares that are available to be returned. If we are holding on to our shares, the 80% or more owners of AMC, there is limited amount of shares that can be bought back to cover on these short positions, just like what happened with Volkswagen when the available free float went to about 1%. That is a similar thing that is going to happen with AMC as long as apes hold on to their positions. So mix all of this together, as well as that the institutional investors on the 13F filings are indicating they're holding on to their positions, and their average price on their positions is about $47 per share. Some are obviously higher, some are a little bit lower, but on average about $47 for their positions. And look at that, 78,000 shares, 48,000 shares, 29,000 shares. Those are brand new positions. 64,000 shares, 500 shares right there. So all in all, when you add this all together, I am getting very excited for the November MOAS. This is not to say it will happen. This is to say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is what could possibly happen. I'm not saying to base any trades based off of this. I am not a financial advisor, not a financial planner, surely not your dad or anybody of influence that would tell you what to do. I'm simply not that person. But this is what I think. This is my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Does it make sense to you guys? I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it should make sense to a lot of you guys. Let me know if you think that AMC is going to squeeze in November or by the end of the year. If not in November, definitely in my opinion in December. So that is going to wrap up this video. Hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Consider sharing this with other people if this does resonate with you. As well as that, if you guys want to support the channel, link for public, you get up to $70 in your choice free stock. It only takes about 3 minutes time to sign up. They do not use payment for order flow. You can also link your debit card to your portfolio, but either way, you get your free stock before you have to do any of that. So definitely check that out. Link for Webull as well. Link for the buy and sell alerts. You guys will be notified every time I make a trade in AMC or any other stock, whether it's a day trade, swing trade, or long-term investment with stock options and or crypto. So that's all for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.